coal and gas that through the process of pyrolysis, the absence of oxygen. Now this is how the process is being done. This is how the process is being done. Firstly, we feed this waste plastic into the drum. The drum serves as a reactor. Then we heat it up with charcoal. We are doing everything manually so that both the people can take this up. Since waste plastic has become a problem to our country, so we are finding why waste, all those waste plastic into this problem. So we are practicing it. So when we waste plastic, then it is to the chamber. Then it is being heated inside the oven. To use charcoal to heat it up under 350 degrees Celsius. When it has been heated up, then it undergoes what we call molecular vibration. Molecular vibration brings these gases, they are polymers, so they turn into monomers, then they begin to evaporate and passes through this lead pipe. This lead pipe serves as a condenser, then into the white jerry can. Then the water too helps to condense these vapors and turn them into liquid. Then also those vapors that are able to be condensed by this condenser try to escape. Then we trap it with our tricycle tube and connect it into a cylinder. Then we use it as liquid gas.
We are students from Government Girls Secondary School today, and the title of our project is Portable Wastewater Management Plan to the Moringa Seed. These are community settings comprising of our water treatment, our hydropower, our solar panel, and our agricultural sector. These roofs were built in such a way that instead of letting it spill to the ground, it's being collected in our lost water collector, which separate the biodegradable from the non-biodegradable. The biodegradable are further broken down into biogas. Then our water is being taken to our purification and disinfectant tank, where we use our moringa instead of our chlorine and aluminum sulfate. Because there is scientifically proven that those chemicals have side effects due to excess intake of the water that has been treated with chlorine and aluminum sulfate. Then we take it to our segmentation tank. After then it's being transferred to our filtration chamber, whereby those particles that are unable to dissolve can be transferred. Then we take it to our open tank, whereby it's exposed to sun and atmospheric temperature. Then a sample of this water is being taken to our lab, where we use our low-cost monitoring kits to test for water parameters like pH and dissolved oxygen. When we find out that this water is suitable for drinking, it's being taken to our water community reservoir. These are dams. Our solar panel, solar power photovoltaic panel, converts sun rays into electricity by sighting silicon cells using photons of light from the sun. Our inverter is made up of our transistor, resistor, and step-up transformer. It's called a step-up transformer because it's used to step up volts from 12 voltage to 220 or 240 volts. It's also called a step-up transformer because the secondary rating tone is more than the primary rating tone. It tells that solar panel contains 0.5 to 0.6 volts. Our dam, the principal objective of our dam is not just to control or suppress flow. It's used for other activities like agricultural recreational purposes, domestic purposes, and generating electricity beyond our hydropower. Water from our dam is then taken to our farm water reservoir, where it is to light our fish ponds and our farm. This light you see here serves as source of illumination and trap insects that serves as fuel to our animals. When the water in our fish pond is due for change, it's then taken to our farm, whereby we bring organic manure to our plants. If we harvest this plant, we then sell it to our community at cheaper rates and foreign exchange to other communities. In conclusion, we have been able to solve problems of unemployment at low power supply.
Which are production is the process of making something from one food. Organic food are those that are produced without the use of inorganic chemicals, such as herbicide, pesticide, and inorganic fertilizer. This system is an aquaponics system. What we use here is raffia pan, plastic bottles, coconut fiber, fluted pumpkin leaf, and your hose. This is how we use plastic bottles are. Plastic bottles have left a lot of havoc on both biotic and abiotic environments. Plastic bottles has also plugged drainages, which does not allow free flow of water. Inside this plastic bottle here is coconut fiber. Coconut fiber serves as mulch because it retains water and also serves as support for the plants. This is our water pump. This fish water has two major nutrients the plant needs for its growth and development, which are nitrogen and phosphorus. This is the water pump. which we use to pump this fish water into this grow ram. Then this is our filtration system. This is where we filter the water. This is our sump. This is where we use our moringa solution to filter the water again. Then this is our filtration tank. This is the one where the water from the filtration goes here. This is our filtration column. This is sand, charcoal, and sand, which we use to filter the water. Then this is our storage tank. This is where we store the water we use. Just where we store the water.
The title of this project is Recycling the Filter, which happens in 3 main stages. This is the sand and gravel filter chamber, where sludges are being collected from dirty water.
The next group, right?
My name is Aisha We are from government level school. This is our project. The government is about empowering the youth. How we can make youth African attire to empower the youth to show the unity in Africa.
And this is the Millennium Development Goals. As you all know, this is a very beautiful control design that has constituted the international strategy and achievement of President Dolapo Osinbajo in line with the United Nations Millennium Development. You know, these are the things he's been able to do in the last 4 years, and he has promised to do more.
What do you have? What is it about?
Good morning. This our project is based on the commercial fuel and gas and using gas. Now, when the plastics are buried, so gas is being given up and is collected in power. Then we put it in the separation point. Separation point.
The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, I'm talking about Boss Mustafa, who is also ably represented here by Babatunde. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you all to this amazing event. It is an honor and privilege to have every one of you seated here, but above all, it is an honor and privilege to have our father, Mr. President, in his wisdom, approve of an event like this as a run-up to our Democracy Day celebration. It is indeed a thing of joy that we have young people, youths, gathered from secondary schools. Thank you very much.
Please shall we rise up as we pray? In Jesus' name, in the mighty name of Jesus. Father, thank you for bringing us here. Father, thank you for gathering all the Nigerian peoples here. Father, thank you for our president. Thank you for the wife of the president. Thank you for Nigeria. Thank you for peace in Nigeria. Thank you for our democracy. Thank you for all the schools in Nigeria. Father, cover everything that will be done today. Let it be successful in the mighty name of Jesus. In Jesus' name I've prayed.
Dignitaries in our midst, even as we rush through this program. I'd like to commend
morning. Your Excellency, Dr. Mrs. Aisha Buhari, represented by Her Excellency, Mrs. Dolapo Osinbajo. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, represented by the Permanent Secretary, Cabinet Affairs Office, Mr. Tunde Lawal. The Chairman, Sir, Presidential Advisory Committee on the Elimination of Drugs and Substance Abuse, Nigeria, Retired General Buba Marwa. The APC Party Women Leader, Hajia Salamat Baiwa Omar Eluma. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, dignitaries here present, dear children, the press, I am most delighted to welcome you all to this very important occasion organized to commemorate the 2019 National Democracy Day. I wish to express my deep appreciation and gratitude to Her Excellency, the wife of the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Dr. Mrs. Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, here represented by Her Excellency, Your Excellency, Mrs. Dolapo Osinbajo, for organizing this epoch-making program and personally being part of the event, despite your very tight schedule. You are most welcome, and your presence at this event is an indication of your unalloyed love and concern for the Nigerian children. Highly esteemed guests and dignitaries, invited guests, the press, ladies and gentlemen, and our dear children, the parliamentarians, your teachers, and chaperones, you are most welcome to this occasion. Kindly note that this event is especially organized as a forum for our children to express their views on the theme of this year's National Children's Day, drug abuse among children, addressing the challenges. The theme was chosen by various stakeholders with the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development in consideration of the current trend, very ugly trend of drug and substance abuse in our society, as well as the presidential mandate to eliminate this menace. More so, the ministry with its mandate and responsibility to ensure adequate protection and total well-being of our children, children of Nigeria and the young ones who constitute critical stakeholders to our country's future and development, we have taken it up and are working with all relevant stakeholders to ensure that that menace is stamped out from our country. Children in our country, having an estimated population of over 75 million, must have their resources, energy, time, and their concerns and matters affecting their well-being for sustainable development. There is that involving and listening to children's views on various subjects, especially those affecting them, and nation building, uncover the priority they give to their protection and suggestions to address the issues as well. It is in view of an oratorical contest. I believe our children are ready for us, and at the end of the program, I urge everyone to please pay particular attention to the panel discussions and oratorical contests. I also urge you to go around afterwards to look at what we hand or what our... Thank you so much.
My mentor, I grew up loving him, and of course his policies. Keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping. You're welcome, sir.
The wife of the president, Dr. Mrs. Aisha Buhari, ably represented today by Her Excellency, wife of the Vice President, Mrs. Dolapo Osinbajo, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, ably represented by Mr. Babatunde Lawal, who is the Permanent Secretary, Cabinet Affairs Office, our National Woman Leader, Salamatu Baiwa, Permanent Secretary, Minister of Women Affairs, Mrs. Ifoma Anabogu. The organizing secretary for this program, Mrs. Maria Rufai, teachers, head teachers, parents, tutors, children, ladies and gentlemen. First, I would like to thank the organizers of the activities of Her Excellency, the wife of the President, on the June 12 Democracy Day, for including in its line of activities the topical topic on drug abuse. Drug abuse is arguably the most troubling problem of our time. It does not discriminate between the rich and the poor. It does not discriminate between male or female, between Christian or Muslim, whether you are Yoruba or Hausa or Fulani or Igbo, it doesn't discriminate. It affects us all with devastating consequences. Before us today are our future leaders. And I would like to begin by asking the youths, if you want to be president of this country in the future, raise your hand, let me see. Okay. If you want to be governors, raise your hand. Okay. Ministers. Okay. Ambassadors. Generals. Thank you very much. You are all extremely capable and well positioned to be all that you can be. But you must start by recognizing the following. 1, you must all work hard, very hard in school. Without education, you wouldn't be somewhere. There are no shortcuts. You need to work, pass your exams. Second, you need to be religious. Whichever religion you belong to, adhere to the tenets of that religion. Third, you need to be balanced in your discipline. You must all be disciplined and of good behavior. And finally, you must not take drugs. You must say no to drugs. I didn't hear that. Say no to drugs. Say no to drugs. Nigeria was not heard before on this matter of drug abuse, from independence and onwards. Suddenly, we became a transit nation, receiving drugs from Latin America and relaying it to North America and Europe. But barely 6 years or so ago, we transited even from that to a drug user nation ourselves, to a consuming nation. And this has brought a very big problem to our country. The global prevalence rate of drug use is 5%, but in Nigeria, it's already 15%. 3 times the global average. Each of us in this room today knows someone or knows about someone or one family or someone in the neighborhood, or a relative, who takes drug. In some cases, the parents take drugs, the children take drugs. We even have cases where 3 generations, the parents, children, and grandchildren, all take drugs. Between the ages of 15 and 64 in Nigeria, we have about 14.3 million drug users, of which nearly 3 million are addicted. They are drug addicts. Of course, out of every 5 drug users in Nigeria, 1 is a female. It is in a bid to arrest this state of affairs,
which I humbly chair. And our assignment is to find a solution that is sustainable and feasible to deal with this menace. Let's look at a few definitions so that we are quite clear about what we are talking about. First of all, we have to be clear, what is a drug? A drug is any chemical substance which, when used, affects the body and mind. It does this by changing the body's functions and or behavior of the user. Therefore, what is drug abuse? A drug is abuse, use is forbidden by law. Equally, of drug use. In one sensible sentence, damage to personal health, physical, emotional, or psychological, especially in the case of children like your good selves, who are in your formative for a number of reasons. Ease of access and wide availability is one reason. Believing that they will get high and feel good about it. Peer pressure, which is very key, especially in student populations and schools.
The experimentation stage, this is a stage where you experiment with drugs because of the need to satisfy curiosity. Then you move on to the occasional or social use, where the drug user accepts to use the drug occasionally, only when offered by friends, for instance. Then he moves on to regular use, he or she moves on to regular use, where the user seeks out and uses the drug of choice more frequently and steadily. And finally, the last stage, which is dependence. This is the last stage where the drug of choice becomes part and parcel of the life of the drug user. He or she craves for it and finds it very difficult to part with it. Which are the commonly abused drugs? The commonly abused drugs are categorized into narcotics. These generally induce sleep, and they are also used to relieve pains associated with cough, surgery, terminal illness such as cancer. And we are talking of the opioids, morphine, codeine, heroin, and so on. Then you have the category of depressants, which are drugs that depress the central nervous system, slowing down the rate of the body and how the body functions. They are also used to reduce sleep and to reduce nervousness and convulsions. So we are talking of diazepams, Valium, Lexotan, Librium, and so on. Next is stimulants. These are drugs or substances that increase the activity of the central nervous system and induce a temporary sense of well-being, feel good, self-confidence, and produce an increase blackness. The hallucinogens are the next terrible category, which produce hallucinations, that is, experience of non-existent sensations. These chemicals cause changes in sensation, thinking, self-awareness, and emotions, as the angel dust, LSD, and that type of category. And overdose usually leads to death in this case. The most commonly abused drug worldwide and in Nigeria is a category on its own, which is cannabis. Has different names: hemp, wee, so many names. Actually, of the roughly 15 million drug users in Nigeria, 10 million use cannabis. We are talking of approaching 70% of our drug users. The cannabis has both stimulating and depressant effects and creates a sense of elation and sometimes euphoria. Then you have the category that we call miscellaneous. From the ingenuity of our youths, they look for all kinds of things to make them high, like sniffing, lizard droppings, latrines, lacacera mixed with tom-tom, even glue, gasoline, petrol, paint thinners, correction fluids, kerosene, and all that. How do we address the challenges is the theme before us today. First, we must recognize that if 15 million is the rough figure of drug users in Nigeria, that means there's well over 160 million who are not taking drugs. And therefore, whatever steps are taken to protect our children and our youth, we must make sure that these 160 million are targeted together with the 15 million so that we don't have any more addition to that 15 million, but instead we want to cut it down. Therefore, the overall strategy must be of supply reduction on one hand, that is the supply chain of the drugs down to the streets, and demand reduction, that is from the consumption side. On the supply reduction aspect, the government uses its instruments and its institutions of state, like the NDLEA, the customs, the police, NAFDAC, the judiciary, and so on and so forth, to cut the supply of drugs. We need to trace the supply from overseas, from the route to the ports, and equally face local production and cultivation and stop it, and fish out those who are responsible and punish them severely so that it will be a deterrence and a lesson for people to know that they ought not traffic in drugs. Because if we stop the drugs and there are no more drugs, then there's no drugs to abuse. So that's key, that there must be a strategy for blocking the availability and accessibility of drugs. And our committee has worked very hard on this aspect, and we have the strategies. Part of it also is the banning of some of the categories, like the codeine was banned. I should mention that the agencies that I just mentioned are trying their best, because if you look at it in the course of the last 6 months, tramadol is very, very scarce. Very, very scarce and expensive. It has gone, in some cases, 5 times more or 10 times more the original cost because of the seizures. The customs, the NDLEA, NAFDAC in the last 6 months or so, they have seized about 100 containers of tramadol. And this is a job well done, and they need to be encouraged.
What should be your response? First is say no. What is the first thing to do? Say no and be assertive about it. You could ignore the person or just simply walk away. Be involved in hobbies or other positive enterprises.
Drugs to seek help and report, that's very important, report those using or selling drugs to parents, to your parents or to your school authorities or law enforcement. It's very important. For parents, how do you identify if your child is abusing drugs? Most parents believe that, no, it's another person's child that will take drugs, not my own. I trust my own child, he will never do it. And sometimes I tell you, if you want to recognize or know the face of someone who takes drugs, look into the mirror. And when you look into the mirror, you see your own face, normal, isn't it? So someone who is using drugs may even be normal in appearance. So parents should watch out and be very concerned. When I got this assignment, all my family, I got us to do drug tests to make sure that we're all clean. I know my family is clean, but I thought that I ought to do that so that everyone is comfortable with the assignment. So to identify
pipes, syringes, cannabis seeds, matches, and ashtrays. Check their school bags at random, their pockets. You find some kids who are not using perfume, suddenly they start using perfume. Maybe they're trying to hide the smell of it. Tom sweets to kill the odors of probably tobacco and cannabis. And interested in those maybe actors, attention span, incoherent speech, discoloration of the teeth, and so on. Pale skin, the personal hygiene. When your kids are not taking their baths regularly, they look disabled, and their dresses, no personal hygiene, bloodshot eyes, and so on. Always using sunshades. He was not using sunshade before, then he started using sunshade inside the house. You have to take it out and see what's going on there.
But be firm. Let your yes be yes. Above all, set good example. You must be the role models of your kids. Check the friends that they keep, their backgrounds, and it's good to reward efforts of your children. Support them in their area of potential, counsel them, watch out for their religious well-being, dialogue with the children. But at the end of the day, if you believe they are in it and you are not a psychiatrist or an expert counselor, seek medical help. Parents must seek medical help before things get out of hand. Very quickly, the other areas of demand reduction, especially for kids in school, would be what we are working on now, to expand the program that is called Unplugged. This is a preventive program in schools that targets the ages between 10 and 14 years of age by trained teachers under the auspices of the Federal Ministry of Education, the United Nations Office of Drug and Crime, funded by the European Union. It's a two-phase project. It started with just one federal government college per senatorial zone, but as per political zone, and it has gone on now to 32 FGCs across the country, teaching like 20,000 students. Now, this is just a pilot program, and we are going to move to the next level, which is to expand it to every school. We might expand it to every school, so the federal government and state governments are going to collaborate. These are all going to be in our reports on how to achieve that. Equally, the curricula will now be introduced, because we have seen that drug abuse has started even in primary schools. So it's going to be in the curricula from that level to secondary and above. And of course, the other, very quickly running through the other aspects, would be the community. Communities will contribute by forming committees at that level to deal with drug abuse at the community level before it works its way up. Then the religious organizations, traditional institutions, Nigerians respect both. They listen intently to sermons, and the advocacy from these groups, including the media, will go a long way in helping the matter of prevention of abuse. Of course, the government has its own side to play, which is to do more in the area of treatment, or counseling, treatment, rehabilitation, and skills, as well as getting more jobs. Already, the government of His Excellency President Muhammad Buhari is working on this poverty alleviation and job creation. As we all know, we've all been witnessing trader money, market money, the loans that are coming from the Bank of Industry for manufacturing activities, small and medium-scale enterprises to grow up. These are all ongoing, and government will be intensifying some of these activities. So in a nutshell, I thought I should touch a bit on these various areas and give the assurances that the drug abuse scourge in Nigeria, we can deal with it. We can deal with it, and the president himself is committed. He has the political will, and we will soon get our report in, and the implementation will start, and I'm sure before long, this matter will be a thing of the past. Thank you very much.
cultural troupe there, just welcoming our mother. Thank you very much. Thank you. We have some.
Your Excellency, the wife of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, our dear mother, Dr. Mrs. Aisha Buhari, ably represented by our Yewe, the wife of the Vice President, Mami Osinbajo, Mrs. Dolapo Osinbajo. We want to use this opportunity to welcome you and to thank you for honoring the Nigerian children by organizing this special event, which is really critical to talk about a national issue, an issue that has become a national emergency that everyone can't shy away from. Can we please put your hands together for Our Excellency? All right, that's not how we clap for Our Excellencies, right? So can I have all the children stand? Can I have everybody stand? Can I have everybody stand? I know you're sleeping. Come on. All right, stand. And I'm going to teach you how to stand, how to clap, right? So when I... Labanco! La Balina! Thank you. Please sit. As the President of Nigeria, and we believe that just like he did, or more than he did in the first term, it would serve the interest of Nigerian children. We are gathered with members of the Nigerian Children's Parliament at the national level who are going to be discussing on the theme, which is also the theme of the National Children's Day on May 27, and the theme is drug abuse among children, addressing the challenges. My name is Oluwadamilola Akbutiewi Abdullahi, and I'm co-anchoring with
Chisom Ifakandu. Your Excellency, the theme of this year's panel discussion is drug abuse among children, addressing the challenges. Drug abuse is a serious public health problem that affects almost every community and family in some way. It also plays a role in many major social problems such as drug driving, violence, stress, and even child abuse. This is why we have invited members of the National Children's Parliament to discuss extensively the causes of drug abuse amongst children and also prepare possible practical solutions to ending this menace in our society. I would like to hand over to my honorable members to introduce themselves just before we begin the discussion.
I am right honored. I personally call you the Mother Teresa of our time. Let your good words continue. You are indeed our jewel of inestimable value. Thank you.
Caroline Patrick, representing the Kogi State and the National Children's Parliament. Thank you.
I'm Honorable Koboye Bulade, representing Bayelsa State at the National Children's Parliament. Thank you.
Representing Lagos State in the National Children's Parliament.
The Deputy House to the 6th Assembly of the National Children's Parliament, representing Cross River State constituency.
I am Ajayi Peter, representing Kwara State at the National Children's Parliament.
State in the National Children's Parliament.
I am Honorable Mr. Abdulkadir Abbas, the Speaker of the 6th National Children's Parliament, representing Kano State Federal District.
Ahmed Muhammad Abba, representing Adamawa State International Children's Parliament.
I am Honorable Oref Purity, Speaker of FCT Children's Parliament, representing FCT.
Standing on the existing protocol, I am Ifoma Ejiofor, representing Anambra State National Constituency.
I am Honorable Bankley Grace, representing Ondo State National Constituency.
Thank you very much, honorable members. Thank you very much, our honorable members. So we'll start with, asking why you think children abuse drugs and how they get initiated into taking drugs. Honorable Precious, please.
This menace called drug abuse has really eaten deep into our children. the future leaders of tomorrow, and it's really disheartening. The way most children take drugs because they want to pass examinations. They believe that when they take drugs, it will enable them read into the night, and everything they read will stick to their brains. Not knowing that when they get to the examination hall and the drugs fade, everything they read will go off, making them go blank, and then dozing off, leading to failure that could have been avoided. And that thing is negligence on the part of parents. Most parents do not have a relationship with their children. They don't show them the love they deserve. They are so distant from their children. And children, when they think that they are not loved enough, they become vulnerable. Anything goes. They take solace in taking drugs. And when they initiate, most children initiated into drug abuse unknowingly. Children that like taking cough syrup because it's sweet, they will not know that gradually they are becoming addicted to taking this cough syrup that contains codeine. That is how they get initiated into drug abuse. Thank you.
Honorable Secretary.
Calls for serious attention by everyone, individuals, stakeholders. Children go into drug abuse because of their friends. That's, of course, peer group influence and peer group pressure. Children feel like being part of their friends, it's important for them to stick to their friends' laws. That's going into drug abuse without them knowing that it will affect their health as individuals, as children. Also, children take drugs because of maybe to feel relief from their problem, because when, for instance, a family, the father and mother, a broken home, it affects the children emotionally. So the child might feel like taking drugs will make me feel relief from this problem. Children also take drugs because they want to fit in with their friends, and that is why children take drugs, most especially peer group pressure and peer group influence.
Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable Precious. So now that we know why children get initiated into taking drugs, do you think that enough has been done to address the issue? Honorable Teresa.
Has been making efforts to stop drug abuse, but it has not worked as effectively as we want it to. Like, more things need to be done. For example, we need more rehabilitation centers in Nigeria. The ones we have are not enough to rehabilitate all the drug users we have in Nigeria. We also need more qualified medical personnel who know what drug abuse is and how they can help the patient to recover fully, because drug recovery is a lifelong journey that needs proper support from everyone. Also, we need proper equipment to enable the treatment to work well, so that treatment will not relapse. Relapsing doesn't mean that the treatment has failed. It is an indicator that the treatment needs to be adjusted to best help the patient. Thank you.
In line with what Honorable Teresa said, the government have been trying. Everybody to put a round of applause for the government. In establishing the NDLEA, the NAFDAC, the government have been trying, but there is need for more efforts. Drug abuse is a serious concern to both individuals and government. Government should establish more counseling centers in every single community. There should be counseling centers where qualified health personnel will be employed to give special advice to those who are drug addicted or drug dependent. Because there are so many drug addicts who believe quitting drug is not aim. So when special advice are given to those kind of people, I believe they will change. And also, those of them who want to change, there should be free medical treatment issued out to them. And also, I'm very, very optimistic that if we counsel those people, they will change for good.
Thank you, Honorable Patrick. Honorable.
We all know that the government have provided agencies such as NAFDAC, NDLEA, NCP, rehabilitation centers, securities and counselors. But yet, with all that, it has not stopped drug abuse among children. So we need our government to provide more awareness and sensitization to prevent children from drug abuse, especially those that are in the rural areas. Government should also employ to empower children and young people, that is the skills to cope and manage risks and challenges without the use of drug abuse. I would like this to go to the school also. Schools should provide anti-drug abuse club in order to sensitize children on the ills of drug abuse. In the other hand, parents should be very conscious of how they treat their children, because absence of an abusive parent can also lead children to drug abuse. And finally, I would like the government to please change the perception of violence. That is the attitude and social norms that normalize and hide violence. With our voices out, I think we can end drug abuse among children. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Really the government, but generally by individuals in addressing this menace we call drug abuse is stigmatization. We have so many cases whereby children or adolescents have been told that drug abuse is bad, drug abuse can mar your life, and they've decided to stop. But when they realize the fact that if they go back to their communities, their peers will not want to associate with them, nobody will want to talk to them, they'll be like, you are abusing drugs, like nobody wants to be with them. There's this stigma that instead of using all my peers, why don't I just continue with these drugs? So one of the major factors, or one of the major things that actually hinder the address of drug abuse or hinder this problem from being solved is actually stigmatization. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Peter. Honorable Grace, please. What do you
don't really listen to news? So I think they should put the programs in a way that the children will understand. They should put it in cartoon form, in dramas and all those kind of things.
Thank you very much, Honorable Pressure. So now that we know the difficulties faced, how do you think our parents, our schools, and our communities can contribute to help, to end this societal menace? Honorable Toluwani.
I feel there should be a relationship between counselors, teachers, drinking to get drugs, cigarette smoking, marijuana use, and other health risk behaviors. Students who are poorly bonded to schools are less likely to recognize that substance use may reduce the likelihood of them achieving their future goals. Also, schools should allow students to sign pledges that they will not engage themselves in drug abuse, teaming up with the national drug law enforcement agencies to get the message across, and establishing mentoring programs to let students know the seriousness of drug abuse. Finally, school teachers should be trained preferably by a healthcare professional who is skilled at the recognition of and risk factors of drug misuse. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Purity.
Well, children, they brought us to this world and they have a large responsibility to play in our life. It is their own responsibility to love us, to care for us. They need to give us their time. So I think parents, you can keep your children from being a statistic of drug abuse by being involved in their life, having honest conversations with them, and practicing what you preach to children. Because you find out that in most families, parents engage themselves in drug abuse and they practice these things in front of their children. The parents are the first role models which their children look up to. So when parents are practicing these things in their front, it kind of affects them. They will want to try this thing called taking drugs. So I think parents should live by example to their children. And also, parents should create moral lessons for their children in the medium where they tell these children about the dangers, the risks associated with drug abuse, why they should not go into drug abuse, the need for them to stay focused, don't mimic their fellow friends, having a high self-esteem. Coming to the community leaders are the decision makers of every community. It lies in their hands to stop drug abuse in their community. So what I feel traditional leaders should do to end this menace called drug abuse, they can create a kind of awareness where they tell parents the dangers associated with drug abuse, call those children, implement a law where anyone who is guilty of drug abuse should be punished accordingly to the law. And also in the school, we find out that children spend 9 months in school. So school also have a large responsibility to fight this menace called drug abuse. Schools should create clubs which talk about this drug abuse, and also incorporating programs focused based on child development in order to achieve a healthier behavior for the nearest future children. Children themselves has a responsibility on their own part by listening to the school rules and regulations, being obedient, and also the teachers in the schools should teach those children, tell them, because some children don't listen to news. So find out that most children goes to school. So teachers should tell those children, the government should bring it like a kind of topic that will be drug abuse, where they can learn more, that substance abuse education. They can know more about this drug abuse, which is a serious menace in the society.
Honorable the child is fully informed of the effects and meaning of drug abuse, they will not want to be in someone's position who is engaging in drug abuse. So I think that a child should be able to have the moral information or the educational information of drug abuse in schools. Not only that, but also the use of drama in schools. Normally, children get things when they see it performed in front of them. For example, TV shows or dramas in their schools. So when it's being performed live or they watch it and see how it's happening and see the effects of it, they will not want to experience it or want to partake in it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Koma.
Of the media in general, social media, the mass media, TV, radio, in ending this national culture.
Honorable Peter.
The mass media has become a part of our day-to-day lives for all. More so, our children and adolescents spend considerable time daily on the mass media. So this mass media can actually be utilized directly to transform these students' perspective of drug abuse, transform their perspective of the drug use, telling them that drug use is actually bad. Now, one major weapon that the mass media can be used as is in spreading information to a large number of people. Nowadays, you can hardly go to any home where you don't see, at least, even if they don't have the television, they have the radio or at least a form of mass media or an electronic media. So I think if there are shows or commercials where information to children are delivered, telling them that drug abuse can do this, drug abuse is bad, drug abuse can actually damage your future, I think these children will sit down and actually listen to them. And also in our villages now, where we do so many sensitizations here, we don't actually focus on those villages, those nooks and crannies where we don't even know people exist in those places. So I think mass media can actually be a form whereby sensitization can actually reach those people. And for example, in an Igbo village, for example, if their fathers, I'm not insulting the Igbo people, but you will mostly see the fathers taking what they call snuff, and the children will be around them. When the fathers grow older and the children grow older, they also want to continue taking those things. But if they are told through any form of electronic media that taking these substances can actually damage their health, I think it will stop them and prevent drug abuse among children, which we are the future generation of tomorrow. So everything that can be done in the mass media, even through internet campaigns or all these shows through our social media platforms, there should be campaigns everywhere telling people that drug abuse is bad, and this news will actually go a long way, other than other forms of sensitization, because mass media is one of the largest networks we have now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable.
We can use to curb this trending menace drug abuse is the internet. Being in a computerized world where most people ranging from children, adolescents, youths and adults are exposed to the internet, we can use various social medias like Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, Instagram, WeChat and Snapchat to educate the public and the world at large about the scope of drug abuse and make more emphasis on the effects and the consequences. We can use posters like "Say No to Drug Abuse." We can also post films real-life films showing the consequences of people, showing the consequences of drug abuse and examples of people who have suffered from it. We can also use the billboards, newspapers, like we can use top celebrities on billboards, like pictures saying, say no to drug abuse. I think with this we'll be able to curb drug abuse because most children look up to these celebrities as their idols and they want to emulate whatever these celebrities do. Thank you.
Honorable Mohammed.
From videos about the people that have already been affected by drug abuse, so that all the people that are drug addicts should stop. They will see how the drugs will affect them, how the drug affected the people that were drug addicts. They will see it, they will see the videos, and they will stop it. Thank you.
Honorable Fariza, you have something to say?
Nowadays, Nigerians spend considerable time online. Most of them are so addicted, they are on their phones every time. So this is when the media comes into place. Children now are most likely to look at pictures and videos than read. So they should set up things like videos, pictures of people who have been partaking in drug abuse to see what it is like and how and the negative effect on their body, on their health, and the damage it causes to their future. Children should not partake in drug abuse, like billboards, like Honorable Koboye said, billboards with celebrities saying, say no to drug abuse. Children tend to imitate celebrities, and celebrities too should mind what they do, because they know that children all over the world, especially in Nigeria, who have many celebrities around, they should mind what they do. They should stop taking drugs because they know that children are imitating them all around. So children look up to them as idols, so they should stop taking drugs so that children who take them as idols will not want to fall into it. Thank you.
I want to talk to my fellow children. We should be taught the ways drugs can be abused, the dangerous effects of drug abuse, and how it can mar our future. We should be taught early the essence of responsible living, and the fact that we have a role to play in living healthy and responsible lives should be emphasized. We should be made to understand that whatever we do today will definitely affect what we will become tomorrow. You cannot become a president as a drug addict. You cannot become a minister as a drug addict. Set a goal for yourself, have a focus, dream big, and mind the kind of company you keep, because evil communication corrupts good manners. Get yourself good role models to guide you properly on the right path. I want you to know that you are the future leaders of tomorrow, and you have a responsibility to be responsible, not just to yourself, but to your family and to others who are looking up to you. Thank you.
Parents, I can't see you. That's good. Nowadays, parents, you are expected to prevent drug abuse against children. In a situation whereby parents themselves send their own children to buy drugs and other substances, it's like introducing them to drug abuse. Parents, you are our mentors. We look up to you. Whatever we see and do starts from you. I have a quote that says, when a tree is small, it's easy for the owner to bend. But when it grows tall and strong, it's difficult for the owner to bend it. Now, I plead with our parents to please give more time and attention to their children when they are young, not looking for money and material things. Yes, parents, look for money so that we can enjoy it before we make our own money. But that time and attention should please be given to the children. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable.
Duly protocol observed. Before I go further for the messages, I would like first of all to say it is my honor and privilege to stand in the midst of these higher dignitaries. And I must appreciate and thank my honorable members for deliberately expressed the ways that we can curb these minors. So I would like to tell my fellow Nigerian children that they should not live for today. When I look at a child, I see hope. I see citizens because they are the leaders of tomorrow. And every wrong decision they take today will affect their future. Like for example, our dear father asked who wants to become a president. Everyone wants to raise up his hands. So how can you be a president when you are a drug addict minister or something? So please, I am calling on my brothers and sisters, children directly. Please, you should shun from drug abuse. Anything that is threatening to drug abuse, you should stop it. And in the sense that when you fear groups are the most, easy ways that the children are engaging themselves into drug abuse. So if you see your friend or say anything, oh, Bola, come let us go hide to smoke. You say no. You quickly run, go to tell your principal or your school authority, or go tell your daddy or mommy, oh, so person say me that. So from that, earlier the better. So the parents of the school arrangement, we have something to do with it. Thank you very much, and this is my message.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker, and thank you so much, honorable members of the...
If I can chisel, well, I want to believe that we've all learned a thing or two from what everyone has said here. For me, at least I know now that it takes a village to raise a child. We can't just sit down and see someone misbehaving and we just turn a blind eye. Oh, he's not my child, he's not my brother, he's not my nephew. So we should all come together and fight this menace in our society. And one more thing, you're only as good as the people you have around you and as good as the thing that informs you. So what you're doing with the internet, what you're watching on TV also informs you. So try and minimize the amount of time you spend looking at, the things that you see on music videos, because most of those things are not real. Let's try to behave better as children because we have a brighter future ahead of us. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Just before you leave, honorable members of the Nigerian Children Parliament, I'd like to throw the floor open just for two students amongst you. You have a question or a contribution? While Oganetega, Peter, get ready. Oganetega, get ready for your presentation. Go ahead.
Good morning, all. Standing on the existing protocol, Nigeria is the only country we have. My name is Miriam Ezine, a pupil of New Hope International School in Kuje Area Council, Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. I am 9 years old and in primary 4, class of 2012 academic year. Drug abuse among children. The dangers of drug abuse among children is quite worrisome and have endangered young lives, thereby creating an imbalance in the overall well-being of numerous children who by omission or commission indulge in drug abuse. The issue of negative effects of related drug abuse cases have affected thousands and millions of children within the age range of 10 to 20 years old and above, both in their academics and in social life. Drug abuse is a dilemma to parents whose children engage in the act. It is a syndrome and dangerous. I condemn it. It must be avoided and tackled by relevant authorities. Thank you and God bless Nigerian children.
Thank you very much. She condemns drug abuse. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, before we wrap up this session very quickly, I'd like to welcome Master Oganetega. Oh, we have another school for another question, right? Oh, great, great. Brick Hall. Amazing. Hurry up. Peter, come and stand by me. Oganetega. That's your mic. Quickly. Thank you. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. I wanted to ask, can you clarify the difference between addiction and abuse, and also how do you stop the stigmatization?
Honorable Speaker, the question is yours.
We say abuse and addiction. Abuse is when person starts taking drug. And addiction is after the person has that drug abuse has completely be by himself. So that, as you were saying, the drug addict have money, they will do all it can by any measure to find that drug too, because it's like being the part of their life. We cannot live without food. So that drug is their food. And how can we stop that stigmatization? Is by community.
I thought the encouragement by community. I thought that even community is effective than the government. Because, for example, in my village, I rest from the village. If that's people, smugglers like for rice, the government, federal government condemn. So if they come, if the custom, are following before them, if they come, the community give them shelter. Someone will just open his gate and they can't go back inside. They close. When they come, they will keep checking. So if the community can stand together, unite themselves to fight for everything, nothing is big deal on drug abuse. If community who can...
We can stop stigmatization when we have the idea that these children are not criminals. They are victims. Something led to something. So when we have that at the back of our mind, it will stop the stigma. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just reintroduce yourself and the school you represent before you start.
Duly observed. My name is Peter Torere Ogenetega, and I am a student from Kingdom Heritage Model School, Lokoja, Kogi State. I am in primary 4 Glory. I am 9 years old. I am here to recite the Child Rights Act. Dear children, here are some things you need to know. A child is a person below the age of 18. Parents are people who give birth to or adopt a child and take care of him or her. Your father and your mother are your parents. Guardians. Guardians are caregivers who take care of children that are not theirs. Your rights are what you deserve, no matter who or where you are. The Child Rights Act is a document that promotes and protects the rights of the Nigerian child. Your rights fall under the following categories: survival rights, protection rights, development rights, and participation rights. Survival rights. My survival rights is to live a healthy life and grow into a strong and a capable adult. My survival rights include right to life, right to good health, right to immunization, and right to nutrition, right to health and healthcare services. I should enjoy the best physical, mental, and spiritual health from the day I am born. Right to nutrition. I have the right to have healthy meals. I should eat vegetable and other food for adequate nutrition. This helps me grow strong and healthy. Protection right. All decisions that affect me must be taken in my best interest and protect me from harm, such as indecent and inhuman treatment, sexual exploitation, drug abuse, child labor, torture, maltreatment, neglect, discrimination, trafficking. Right to unborn child protection. A child should be protected from any form of harm before, during, and after birth. Right to name, identity, nationality, and birth registration. I should ask my parent or guardian if my birth is registered. I have the right to registration of my birth and to be identified by my name and nationality. Right to dignity as a child. I should not be subjected to any physical, mental, or emotional sexual abuse. I should not be injured, maltreated, or neglected. I should be corrected with love and care. Prohibition from child marriage/betrothal. I should not be betrothed to anyone as a child. I should not be deceived or forced into marriage. Freedom from discrimination. Children of whatever tribe, religion, gender, or physique to enjoy the same rights. I should be discriminated against in any part of human endeavor. Prohibition from tattoos and skin marks. I should not be given tattoo, facial, and skin marks as these are dangerous to my health. Prohibition from hard drugs. Hard drugs are very dangerous to my health. I should be protected from any form of drug abuse, including its use, sale, and trafficking. Prohibition from abduction, removal, and transfer from lawful custody. I should not be taken away illegally from my parents or guardians without their approval. I am a child, not an item for sale. Prohibition from exploitive labor. I am not supposed to do any work that will affect my education, health, and social life. Prohibition from buying, selling, owning, or dealing in children for. I should not be used for begging, hawking, and prostitution. Prohibition from any form of sexual contact with a child. I should not be exposed to any material of any sexual content. I should not involve myself in any form of media not sustainable for my age. Development right. In order to become a as a child. My development rights include right to compulsory universal primary education, right to leisure and participation, right to education. I have the right to go to school. It's my responsibility to study well and get good grades. Participation right, right to freedom of association and peaceful assembly, right to freedom of thought, conscience and religion, right to privacy and family life, subject to parental guidance, right to freedom of movement, subject to parental guidance, right to religion and to rest and to engage in activities sustainable for my age, subject to parental guidance. Participation rights. I have the right to take part in activities and decision making that affect me. I can express my opinion on different issues and I should not be afraid to share the idea that I have. Participation rights. I can have friends. I can join club and association if my parents or guardians guide me.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please a round of applause for this young man. A round of applause for him, encourage him.
I'm watching God anywhere, but I must do so as my parents or guardians guide me. Right to privacy and family life. I should have a home and a family life. I can have privacy and communicate with people, but my parents and guardians have the right to supervise and control my conduct. Development.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. If we leave this young man today, he would read out the Nigerian Constitution, I tell you. But for the meantime, I believe, Mommy, you can see Mommy clapping for you. Maybe you'll find time within the week, go to our office, sit down, and then read out these rights for her. Right? You want to go and say hello to Mommy? Go and take a presidential handshake from Mommy. Come on, go. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Aha, aha. Please, protocol, security, let him come through. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Amazing stuff, amazing stuff. Thank you very much, Mama. Thank you, thank you. You are indeed the Mother Teresa of our time, and we appreciate you. Thank you very much, thank you very much, because if we leave this board, you go read 1999 Constitution as amended for us today. Thank you very much.
I recommend all the children to stand up as we are appreciating the President's efforts on children. Please, you should stand up, all of the children. Please.
If you're a child in the room, can you rise to your feet? Let's appreciate our father, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari.
On behalf of the National Children's Parliament and the State Children's Parliament, and the National Children's Parliament, Children's of Nigeria, I appreciate the effort of the federal government and the effort of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, General Muhammadu Buhari, Your Excellencies, and all that who it may concern, who are doing 100% to see that children of Nigeria are having a comfortable environment. I also appreciate the Federal Ministry of Human Affairs with bringing the Children's Parliament into life. As the Speaker of the National Children's Parliament and also the future Nigerian President and the Commander-in-Chief, I define children as the expected outcome of today for the better of tomorrow. This is my program. Please take notes, journalists and press. I need this printed, please.
Thank you for them. I believe that session was quite expository. Keep clapping for them. Keep clapping for them. He said he's the future president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Anyway, I will hold him to his word. And I believe in them just as I believe in every one of you. Very quickly, before we welcome the One Nigeria dance troupe, round of applause for Mrs. Adenike Oyejide. Also, I have Honorable Dr. Asabe Vilita Bashir. She is and sensitization, which is ably led by the Director General, Comrade Obinna, of my Vice President, representing my mother, the wife of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you will agree with me that it has been an amazing time. No matter where you go to, no matter where you're from, tearing us apart. It doesn't matter if you're Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, Ishekiri, Ijo, or wherever you come from. Nigeria belongs to all of us. Next presentation you'll be watching
discrimination and tribalism. We need to join hands together and work with the president for the building of our great nation. We need to work with the president to build a great nation in Nigeria. Nelson Mandela once said, and I quote, "If you want to make peace with your enemy, you need to work with your enemy and let your enemy be your partner." And as for me, I come from the east, I school in the north, serve on the west. So I call on all of us to join hands together and move Nigeria forward. Remember, divided we fall, united we stand. One nation, one Nigeria.
A round of applause for that, a wonderful performance. A round of applause. It is exciting to see that children understand the efficacy of one Nigeria. The stage, she was the candidate of the APC House of Reps in the last concluded election. You're most welcome, madam.
Thank you very much. Her Excellency, Dr. Mrs. Aisha Buhari, our mother and wife of the President, here ably represented by the wife of the Vice President, our mother, Mrs. Dolapo Osinbajo, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, here also represented by the Permanent Secretary, Cabinet Affairs Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Lawal. Brigadier General Buba Marwa, retired, who is the guest of honor to this special occasion. Other permanent secretaries here present, the APC National Woman Leader, Hajia Salamatu. I wish to commend the efforts of my fellow 2019 Presidential Inauguration Committee and Democracy Day commemoration members here present, our subcommittee chairman, our head working secretary, Hajia Maria Rufai, Dr. Hajo Sani, Her Excellency Dr. Dame Pauline Talen, Hajia Binta Moazi, Honorable Theodora Isiomanda, Honorable Abigail Igwe, Hajia Rabi Sulugambari, Hajia Jumai, Dr. Mrs. Saloko, Mrs. Dilichuku, for putting up this wonderful event together. I wish to welcome our mothers, our parents, teachers, students who have come from all walks of life. I welcome you all to this activity as one of those lined up for the commemoration of our Democracy Day celebration. As we await the presentations by our students on peace building, I would like to share with you my comments, observations, and suggestions for enduring peace in Nigeria. Peace building is an activity which aims to resolve injustice in non-violent ways and to transform the cultural and structural conditions which generate deadly or destructive conflicts. On stakeholders' participation in peace building in Nigeria, my comments and observations fall below. Routine stakeholders, roundtable discussions, and meetings where Nigerians of diverse ethnicities, groups, and religion come together to air their grievances and areas of concern while providing ideas for possible solutions are recommended. Traditional leaders, community leaders, credible civil society organizations, and media should be encouraged to carry out conflict resolution duties while staying away from politics and its attendant controversies. Neighborhood recreational centers and local sporting activities should be promoted and sustained at all levels. As we all know, recreation and sports tend to unite Nigerians. Intermarriages and cross-cultural bonding platforms, such as the National Youth Service Corps, Unity Schools, should be sustained and upscaled. Women and youth inclusion and peace negotiations and governance should be encouraged. We know that women, when included in government, tend to bring about more credibility and give form to whatever government and roles or duties they are called to. On the other hand, youth, most violence are being perpetrated by angry youth. You will agree with me that when the youth are adequately inculcated or involved in governance, the bickerings tend to subside. Social media influencers should display statesmanship and shun posts and reposts capable of creating disunity and breakdown of law and order. And this applies to all of us. Every one of us, if not most of us, are attached to our phones, and we all belong to several WhatsApp platforms or the other. Be mindful of what you send and what you post. Read and reconfirm every news so that you do not spread hate. What we need as Nigerians at this time of our democracy is to show love one to another and to send messages that only unite us rather than those which divide us. You cannot give what you don't have. Like my legal colleagues will say, nemo dat quod non habet. Giving is what you have, and let peace be what all of us have in abundance. Our religious leaders and preachers should desist from promoting hate speech, and those found culpable, whoever and however highly placed, should be made to face the law. Civic education as a subject in our primary and secondary curriculum should be made to accommodate peace building and peace education as a preventive measure, because it's better to prevent conflict rather than fighting the aftermath of conflicts, reconciliation and resolution. The National Peace Commission, which I hear has been established, should be well managed and supported to take care of interests and serve as platform capable of addressing communal clashes and conflicts while serving as a platform for peace building, architecture, systems and processes. Well, this goes to politicians. Most times it is the incisive words and statements we make that our followers tend to use to create disunity and cause disaffection in the country. Those who have lost in elections, from councillorship to presidency, if aggrieved, should seek redress in court. I have contested into the Federal House of Representatives 3 times now, having lost again this 2019 general election. While challenging the outcome of that election in court, rather than brewing discord, I and a few other candidates across party lines have decided to submit ourselves and ideas to render ourselves to service to national development and unity, because we believe that governance is all about service, it's all about self and not about division. Others are therefore enjoined to desist from inciting their supporters with hate speech, thereby creating disaffection among the citizenry. We urge them to remain calm, while hoping that government will make efforts to accommodate the suitably qualified so they can make their own contribution to nation building. I take a big example from our father, His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, who contested severally 3 times and lost. And it was the 4th time that he made it. And this is an encouragement to people in politics to become patient and have more faith in time. President Muhammadu Buhari is an example of patience and right timing. At the right time, and as God has preserved it, we who desire to lead at some point in time will have that platform and opportunity to lead. An all hands on deck approach to peace building, where we show love one to another, increase mass awareness of existing government intervention programs, because when people are more aware of these activities, there will be greater inclusion in these existing government programs, and most tensions which arise from hate towards government and perceived non-performance will greatly reduce. I'm aware that government has churned out a lot of social intervention programs like the trader money, we have the agri loans, we have the Empower, we have a lot of programs that are tailored towards empowering the youth, the women, those at the locals, at the grassroots. But if you don't know, you will not key into it. I urge all of us as Nigerians, as a gift to democracy, to Nigeria on this Democracy Day, to become the mass media proponents, where we teach one and tell one about the various government programs, so that when they know, they can tap into all of those, and bickerings will definitely reduce. On a day like this, we celebrate our past heroes and leaders whose efforts has contributed to the peace and unity of Nigeria. We celebrate President Muhammadu Buhari for his courage in the fight against corruption, which has brought about our economic recovery and growth. Also directing the NFIO to monitor direct allocations to local governments, which will sustain development at the grassroots, is an enduring peace process. The wisdom also to recognize June 12th as our Democracy Day is an act which has shown to unite us the more. At this juncture, permit me to introduce the participants to this maiden 2019 PMB Peace Oratorical Contest, who will be discussing stakeholders' participation in peace building in Nigeria with the key thematic areas: the role of a mother and family, that of the teacher, the school, the child, the youth, faith-based organizations, and the role of government. I thank you all. Happy Democracy, Nigeria. One love.
Not guest of honor. Of course, he is my father as well. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Your Excellency, Dr. Mrs. Aisha Buhari, our mother and wife of the President, representative of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, members of the Presidential Inauguration Committee, here present, our amiable guests, co-contestants, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tunde Cynthia. I'm a pupil from God's Own Kid Nigerian Primary School, Nedban Makodi, Benue State. I'm 10 years old. I'm in Primary 5. In my school, I discovered that there are people speaking languages different from my own. Now, I'm aware there are about 250 tribes with languages and cultures different from the one I was taught at home. How do I accept all these people as my brothers and sisters? Here is what I think. The family has a big role to play. This is because mothers are said to be the best friend of the children, making them the closest person to them in the family because of their cool nature. Children mostly confide in their mothers and tell them their innermost challenges. In turn, this helps mothers to educate their children about peaceful coexistence between different tribes of people. The mother, being the closest to her children, should teach them the use of conflict, its causes and consequences, not being left out to the role of the father, who knows best for the children and also the family, both nuclear and extended. We all know the mother of Nigeria, Mrs. Aisha Buhari, and her dedication to fighting inter-ethnic conflicts and sense of differentiation. She is a mother of Nigeria. Indeed, as her role, which she plays, has gone a long way in promoting peace in Nigeria. Every mother in Nigeria should follow her example. The role of teachers. Teachers are the closest to the children apart from the family. They are the social, moral, and educational instructors of the children. At an early stage of a child's life, the child should teach them and caution them on the use of conflict and the importance of peaceful coexistence. A teacher is a teacher, irrespective of the subject he or she teaches. Children tend to swallow whatever the teacher says without questioning. Therefore, Nigerian teachers should be taught peaceful coexistence as a course in teachers' training schools, so that in turn they will teach the same to their pupils right from the primary school. Thank you all. In addition to the role of the family, mothers are the pillars of the home when it comes to training our children, not just in Nigeria alone, but everywhere in the world. There is a saying that when you educate a woman, you educate the nation. This is because mothers are closer to their children than anyone else. Any behavior children indulge in, good or bad, can be traced to our mothers most of the times. You will agree with me that these wonderful moms cannot give out what they do not have for our darling children. Permit me therefore to say here today that get child to be allowed to grow up herself, get matured enough, educated enough to face the task of raising children. In this jet age that many children will not even know more than their mothers, I think there should be a law of prohibiting marriage for underage girls in this country, especially in the north. This is because when they are so young, they might not know the serious consequences of violence, hate speeches, talk less of preaching peaceful coexistence to their children. Thank you all.
All existing protocols duly observed. My name is Ubadebite Hide. I'm here to talk about the role of youth in peace building in Nigeria. Before I continue, what is peace? One of the dictionary definitions of peace is a state of tranquility, quiet and harmony. That is, absence of violence, oppression and unpleasantness, etc. In recent times, the nation's peace has been seriously threatened by religious radicalism, farmers and herdsmen clashes, kidnapping, ritual killings, court clashes and court killings, etc. Both the rich, the poor, adults and children like me. Nobody goes to sleep at night without a feeling of insecurity. The vocabulary of Nigerian children these days have included words like armed bandits, terrorists, unidentified gunmen, etc. None of these words can give a child peaceful night's sleep and sweet dreams. I am not sure past generations of Nigerian children were familiar with these words. Bearing all this in mind, I want our stakeholders, and in fact, every good Nigerian should begin to look for ways and means by which peace can be restored in our country, so that we the children can have a better future. Personally, I suggest the following. The role of the youth in peace building in Nigeria. The Nigerian populace needs to be enlightened on the importance of peace. Therefore, I suggest that some non-governmental organizations, NGO, take up the challenge by employing our unemployed youth to preach the gospel of peace to every nook and cranny of Nigeria. This is very necessary because no country can develop or advance when there is no peaceful coexistence. Thank you all.
In addition, the role of youth in peace building in Nigeria can come through promoting the National Youth Service Scheme, NYC. The National Youth Service Scheme was established as a scheme to bring youths all over Nigeria who have completed their higher education to serve the nation. The scheme should continue to be used effectively as a way of promoting peaceful coexistence between different ethnic groups in Nigeria. The government should consider extending the duration from the current 1 year to 2 years at least. They will organize language lessons for them to learn the language and culture of the state they go to serve. This will further promote peace, unity of the country. Thank you all. Good morning, Your Excellency. I want to talk about the role of the government. The government should encourage the sense of brotherhood in Nigeria. The truth is that we are all brothers created by one God, tribe or religion, notwithstanding. No tribe should be treated superior to any other tribe or encouraged to dominate others by the government. To maintain peace in our country, Whoever is at the head of the government must see all Nigerians as one. No discrimination, no marginalization against anybody. Thank you all. I want to talk about the role of faith-based organization. Our faith-based organizations in Nigeria are mainly the churches and the mosques. These organizations should not have secret agendas towards our country. They should not claim to be religions of peace, but use their doctrines to incite their members to commit mutiny and mayhem. What they say openly before the public should be what they are actually teaching their members in the closet. If our faith-based organizations, Islam and Christianity, wish to promote peaceful coexistence in Nigeria, as they all claim, they should inculcate tolerance, forgiveness, love, dialogue to their adherents. If the stakeholders are serious about building peace in Nigeria, then henceforth, any pastor or imam using their people to sow seed of hatred and violence to their members should be arrested, prosecuted, and their church or mosque should be closed down. Thank you all.
Buhari, our mother and wife of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, representatives of the Secretary to Government of the Federation, Permanent Secretary, Political Office of the Secretary to Government of the Federation, Committee here present, amiable guests, co-contestants, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Prestina. I'm in Primary 5. I'm here to speak on the topic, the role of youth in peace building. The position of youth has a bearing on that. The position of youth in the society has a bearing on their leadership potential and on their possible role in peace building. What then is peace building? Peace building is an activity that aims to resolve injustice in a non-violent way and to transform the cultural and structural conditions that can generate deadly or destructive conflicts. Youths are known as young people considered as a group. What needs to be understood is that youth should be conceptualized and studied as agents of positive peace in terms of addressing challenges of physical violence. Firstly, the engagement of youth in peace building can be ensured through art, culture, tourism, education, etc. The creativeness of young people could be mobilized effectively by connecting them with wider peace building objectives, such as building bridges between divided communities and the available process of reconciliation in the society. Secondly, it is important to provide youth with training opportunities to take an active part in peace building. Thirdly, the enablement of youth as agents of positive peace in the society cannot be ensured without ensuring the challenges which they tend to face due to armed conflicts, such as loss of education, lack of employable skills, and the destruction of a stable family environment. The wider socio-economic needs of youth are often ignored in post-conflict contexts. They are not seen as a valuable group. Finally, in undertaking all these objectives and to maintain peace building in our community, society, and whole world at large, youth should avoid nepotism, discrimination, tribalism, etc. Thank you for listening. Once again, my name is Prestina.
I'm Reform. I attend Jessica Leaders Wisdom Academy. I'm here to address you all on the topic, which says the roles of mothers in peacemaking in Nigeria. In Nigeria and in all other countries, there is need to know that peace is associated with freedom, harmony, and well-being. It is the absence of this that brings about war, conflict, and unsettlement. Every home and family need peace to reign. When people live in peace with one another, there will be progress and development. Mothers are peacemakers and peace agents of the society, and as such, they have an important role to play. Mothers are most times regarded as keepers of the home. Charity begins at home goes a popular saying. When the home is at peace, the larger society becomes peaceful. Mothers are educators. They train their sons and daughters on ethic and proper behavior, and they need to be at peace with everyone. It is this behavior that is carried out to the larger society.
which give room for peace. Mothers also teach their daughters how to keep clean, cook, talk, and behave well in their husbands' houses. Sons are taught to do what is right at all times, keep good morals, take good care of their wife eventually they are married. Through the process of teaching at home, peace is rooted in the children as a foundation for good living in the family, the community, the country, and the whole world at large. In conclusion, permit me to say that mothers have played important role as educators, mediators, peacemakers, community leaders, and as such, decision makers in our society. Once again, thank you all mothers present in this great occasion. Please, can we give our mother 3 bosa? Bosa, bosa, bosa. Once again, my name is Godson James. Thank you all for listening.
My name is Glory Onoha, and I am a teacher. As a teacher, I teach love, I teach unity, I teach mutual respect and civil coexistence, I teach tolerance, I teach equality, I teach equal opportunities for everyone, I teach societal value and development, I teach conflict resolution, I teach safety and dignity, I teach respect for appropriate authorities, I teach no to violence. I am a teacher, I teach and stand for peace in Nigeria. God bless Nigeria. Thank you. I'm in primary 5 and speaking on the topic, the roles of government and our efforts in peace building. The roles of government should not be overemphasized in peace building. What then is government? Government, as we all know, is a group of people who have the authority to govern us. With this definition, government have a vital role in peace building in the society, community, and the whole world at large. If the government really wants to create an atmosphere of perpetual peace, they must take drastic steps like creating employment, supporting young entrepreneurs to fulfill the desires of the citizens in the country. I am glad to be a citizen of Nigeria, where the president has enabled an environment for peace and fight against corruption. Also, I would like to encourage the government to employ conflict prevention and peace building initiatives in interactive methods such as seminars, workshops, adult literacy programs, family education targeted at peace building. Thank you all.
Her Excellency, our mother, the wife of the President, Dr. Mrs. Aisha Buhari, ably represented by Her Excellency, our mother, Mrs. Dolapo Osinbajo, Brigadier General Buba Marwa, retired, standing on existing protocol. I am Adam Al-Hassan from Great Heights Academy, here to present to you on the roles of youth in peace building. There's a lot of literature today on the roles of youth in conflict situations, especially when it comes to perpetuating violence. Many of the people and papers today tend to focus on we youth as being violent in nature, whereas we're not. Considering that the youth have a large population on the African continent, it is increasingly important for us to know that and note to see the youth as agents of peace rather than seeing them as being violent and agents of conflict. The period of the youth is a period of emotions, a period of activities, a period of enthusiasm, and a period of vigor. One important role that the youth can play in peace building and conflict resolution is for them to be the change. The youth can do this by learning and understanding their leadership capacities and educating themselves on community leadership, especially in rural areas, because lack of knowledge about basic decision-making impedes progress which results in conflict. Also, the youth can play an active role in peace building by creating a new phalanx of peace missionaries and NGO networks in the grassroots, concentrating on valued education and spiritual renewal of children. In addition, the youth can also help in peace building by learning skills to deal with conflict in a non-violent way and creating a community that lives by a credo of non-violence. As a young leader, I can see subtle changes in everyone that we can adopt to promote peace. Let's therefore work together and make Nigeria a peaceful country.
Standing on the existing protocol. My name is Mariam Bello. I am a representative of Great Heights Academy. I am here to talk on the roles of faith-based organizations in peace building. Faith-based organizations are a group of people coming together acting on religious beliefs. Faith-based organizations, popularly known as FBOs, play a very vital role in the society. They summon their community to live side by side. The Bishop and the Sultan of Sokoto, amongst the religious leaders of Nigeria, have called both Christians and Muslims to live together as one for a better Nigeria. They engage the services of religious institutions and religious leaders to spread the message of peace, tolerance, and non-violence to the people. FBOs are non-governmental organizations. This means that they come down to community level. They can feel what people feel. They can connect with them. They have the power to shape people's views and basic values of the world. They can change their views of the world. They have the power to influence their decisions, thoughts, and actions. Where religion is mostly believed to incite violence, all religions have a strong emphatic strain on peace. These faith-based organizations have acted as intermediaries and have negotiated several peace agreements. Therefore, the role of FBOs cannot be overemphasized in the society. Thank you for listening.
To start with a very popular quote by Mahatma Gandhi, he said, "If you want to teach real peace in the world, then you have to start with the children." Standing on the existing protocols, I am Zainab Tijani from Great Heights Academy, and I'm here to talk to you on the roles of parents in peace building. As we all know, the family is the first social institution. It is the building block for our future. I think it's not too much to say that the people we become in the future largely depends on the relationships we experience in our families. It's ironical how most of the problems we're facing in our society today stem from the bad upbringing of children. Children who were not loved enough, children who were exposed to the evils of the society, and children who were left on their own right from the start without proper guidance. They are the ones causing chaos and disrupting the societal peace. When we were in primary school, they used to teach us the roles of the family members, and they used to say, mothers are the caretakers. So mothers, it's only natural that you're in charge of our upbringing. Then, what are the roles of the family members in the building of peace? Firstly, parents serve as role models. It is important for parents to know that their actions and decisions greatly affect that of their kids. The style of one's parenting determines how his children will turn out to be. Secondly, efficient communication. Parents inculcate good moral values and ethics in their kids. They teach them why they need to live in a peaceful society. Thirdly, avoidance of conflict. In a situation where a child grows up to see his parents maltreating the people around the society, such a child will definitely have no compassion, no forbearance, and no tenderness towards people. Finally, it may be concluded that the family plays a very important role in the socialization of a child, therefore can be used as a direct effort in peace building. So parents, what legacy are you leaving behind? Let's work together towards building a peaceful society. Thank you.
Education and teachers hold one of the keys to building peaceful peace around the world. Standing on the existing protocol, I am Amal Kazir of Great Heights Academy, and I'm here to talk about the role of teachers in peace building. A teacher plays a central but revealed role in peace building. He or she is the person who helps the students in acquiring knowledge, virtues, and skills. First of all, the teacher influences the ideology, psychology, and thinking of such a child. Because such a teacher is always with the students, that means he is taken as a role model, and he is expected to play optimistic and ideological roles, such as tolerance. We all know that a school is a place where people come together from different religious beliefs, different cultural backgrounds, and so on. So what is the role of the teacher in that situation? He brings people together. He puts all these students on the same page, and he keeps them on the same page. Besides, negative emotion like anarchy and hatred needs to be treated. The teacher solves the problems of the students between them before it gets out of hand. Finally, and in the optimistic approach of this speech, we need to realize that teachers play a potent potential aspect of change. They are located in almost every village and hamlet in our community today and have the greatest power to change the ideology of the students. Like the popular saying of Malala Yousafzai, with guns you can kill a terrorist, but with education you can kill terrorism. Thank you for listening and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. I believe the name of that will be you, Abuja.
Let me begin with the story of an ordinary man who rose to glory. There was once a father of a nation. He had many different children and many different choices to make. He saw all their potential spilling out of the national calabash. So he drew them near and he pulled each ear to whisper, I believe in what you could be someday. I believe in the progress you will make. I believe in you. I believe so much that I will stand by you. By your flaws, by your defeats, by your victories, through your injuries, I will stand by you. Remember, you have an unstoppable force right behind you. A force not to be reckoned with. A force that has injuries, quite all right, but fixes them up and pushes forward. A force that moves. So watch me and do as I do. Watch as I place my feet upon the ground and stand before the world, my chest in the air as I take a stand. A stand for my country and all its values. A stand for my country and all its faults. Then do as I do. That father of the nation stands equally with the mother of the nation. And from their stand born, we ask your consideration. To stand. From all of us to you will stand. Upon the Nigerian soil, proclaiming Nigeria, the land of wealth and glory.
I'm a Nigerian, and I'm not just saying this because of my melanin.
I'm not basing my nationality off my origin. I say it proudly down to the smallest bone in my skeleton.
My blood is not just red, it is viridescent. Like the mashy grass in the football field, it is nourishing.
Like the crude oil in the southern fields, it is strategic. Like the cold in the north, it is heartwarming.
I'm a Nigerian.
I am blessed to live in this place where beauty lies in, where love cannot be broken. Blessed to smell the fragrance in this place from the food to the nature, especially the faint, sweet smell of the green things growing. Shades upon shades, each with a different face. Literally everywhere there are vast numbers of resources abundantly. The vegetation is evergreen. The rainforest is full of rich and tall trees. And the dry season is as friendly as the nature. This nation is a blessed one. Indeed, a blessed one. But the people can't see the good side of it. Look at us. To think we will gain our independence after such intricate roots just to face our Armageddon. I don't know that much of history, but I know this is the same nation our heroes shed their blood to save. None of them gave up despite the condemnation just to save the upcoming generation. Today, the same generation's future is painted in dull colors. Yes, we recite that their labor shall never be in vain, but what was their gain from all that pain? But you see, from this day on, we will no longer remember the turmoil. The perilous era will cease, and my peace will be rest assured as I eat the fruits of my great land.
So, let peace live in the colors of our greenery. Let love live in the scenes of our scenery. Let us release our inner Da Vinci. Let Nigeria be our Mona Lisa. Let peace be our reason for living. Let white live in our green. Green, white, green. I hail Niger for life. May we have faith and respond to this prayer with an amen.
Amen!
But my parents advised me not to fall in love too early in my life. And the beauty lies in the eyes of the one who beholds. But behold, your beauty has no best before. Because before I was even born, my heart's beats never stopped beating, awaiting the beauty of your sight. In you many have found might, but though you haven't gotten everything right, with time just a shadow of light we cast to everyone how much height you can attain.
I see all of that in you. I see your potential. I see possibilities, but first, we must look to the left and not see tribalism. We must look to the right and not see religion. We must look up and not see corruption. We must look down and not see blood and tears. Yes, we must look in and see that we are one Nigeria. We must detangle ourselves from the choking vines of lies, deceits, divisions, the culture of survival by connections. Yes, we may be Igala, Fulani, Bachama, or Adoni, but first, we are Nigerian.
Yes, I know. Because when I speak of you, I speak of one who sees opportunity in every difficulty and is loyal to his everyday duty. When I speak of you, I speak of one whose flag is his pride, the giant he can't hide. I speak of one whose origin is made of black, whose black is beauty, growth and strength. I speak of you, I speak of you, I speak of us, I speak of a Nigerian.
Because as long as our blood courses through our veins, as long as our Bangastu is still remembered by our tongue, as long as there is still hope in the white and wealth in the green, the red in our hearts will beat until the true Nigeria is seen. So, can we talk to you, Nigeria?
No. You have done enough talking. Now you listen. I am Nigeria. I am she who suckled civilizations as far back as 1100 BC. I beat of the red sword. I am the earth, share the same blood. Ibo kambi, nupemiyo, esanmi, niba haushiachi. The whites discovered and named me. My children accepted and learned their ways. I flourished, they flourished, we flourished. But greed wrapped his arms around my own. What I had to offer was no longer enough. The war of 67 raped me. I watched as tribalism devoured the hearts of my people. Churches, mosques, schools were burned down in the name of God. Which God? He who created me? No. You did this in the name of you. You, my own, with tongues of prophets, speak doom unto me. I had started to accept what was, this nightmare of a reality. But then I saw a glimmer of light. A glimmer, yes, but there it was, hope. I watched the man rise to power. I watched his struggle to emancipate a society half buried in their own dung of indiscipline, political injustice, and chronic corruption. My chest beat wildly as hope turned her face back to me. She would take me back to my glory days, when my first-class graduates would no longer roam the streets in search of jobs, then settle as weed dealers. When my children who have labored and tilled my earth will be prosperous again. I felt opportunity rise with this ideology. An opportunity for a new me, a new Nigeria. This ideology, Buharism, oligarchy will be extant no more. Kingmakers will be demystified. Buharism, socialist faith anchored on making people's lives better, restoring order, restoring peace, cleansing what was, clearing the filth, benefiting every sector, every arm, political, economical, social, health. I gaze on as this leader, President Muhammadu Buhari, seeks to end the old order and give rise to the anti-corruption war, as he seeks to relentlessly build a conscious citizenry among my poor masses. My president, do not fall prey to those who do not understand your vision. Destiny makes no mistakes. You were born to lead me, Nigeria, and my own. Remember all you stand for. Remember your vision to take this country to the next level. Feed the nation. Till my earth. Feed the nation. Build the roads and bridges. Turn down by greed and corruption. Remember your promise of education, entrepreneurial opportunities, and top-notch healthcare. Remember and know that my children, Nigerians, will stand with you. I am Nigeria, and this is my awakening.
Nigeria has come a long way. Since democracy set the pace, and now every citizen can boldly say, Nigeria, my country. And so I say to you, awaken, citizens, branches of the true vine, listen. You're not a slave to corruption or falsehood, or a slave to selfish ambitions that birth disorder and every vile practice. No, you are not lost in the smoke, or ignorant or blind to take your place as stakeholders in this great nation. And just because your physical eyes may not see the manifestation of change doesn't prove change isn't already emanating from within you first. So take off that sorrowful cloak of defeat that makes you look weak. I mean, don't you know that you are a chosen nation? Erupting as the light, the salt, the flame of change, you are solutions. The capacity to lead in a greater constitution, functioning with great capacities that can expand to the world with immense contributions. And so I say to my president and my first lady and those in the seats of authority, continue to guard your hearts with all diligence. Personal integrity is never convenient, but it is necessary if one is to live a life worthy of God, self, and country. And to you I say, Nigeria, the stakes are high and the time is nigh. We will not stand and watch and look as everything rots and goes down. No, together we will push, we will press, we'll intensify the vision of our president to the rising of this new era as each of us take responsibility. The new Nigeria arises.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for this amazing presentation. For a second, all the schools presented without their teachers.
All our students have done fantastically well. We are proud of you all. And the First Lady will present you certificate and plaque for doing us proud. And the children of this country must have learned one or two things from today's presentation. So we are proud of you, and God bless.
All right, thank you very much. He just mentioned that, of course, the First Lady will be presenting to you gifts, of course, to recognize your efforts. But notwithstanding, before that, I'd like to call on a man fully represented here by one of my elder brothers, who I respect a lot. Put your hands together as a big welcome. Babatunde Lawal, who is the Permanent Secretary, Cabinet Affairs Office of the Secretary. Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. Ladies and gentlemen, Babatunde Lawal for the vote of thanks. Daddy, welcome.
Thank you very much, MT. Her Excellency, the wife of the President, Dr. Mrs. Aisha Buhari, ably represented here today by the wife of the Vice President, Dr. Mrs. Dolapo Osinbajo, the Chairman of the Presidential Committee on Drug Abuse Elimination, General Buba Marwa, the Permanent Secretaries, particularly the Permanent Secretary, Women Affairs, our children and their teachers, the facilitators, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, I bring you greetings from the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, who himself would have loved to be here personally today, but due to other exigencies, he has asked me to represent him and to deliver these few words. as part of his thanks. First of all, to Her Excellency, the wife of the President, Dr. Mrs. Aisha Buhari, and indeed the wife of the Vice President, who ably represents the wife of the President here today, for probably initiating this important program. We have seen that the issue of drug abuse cuts across, and indeed it begins from childhood. So this program, which Her Excellency has introduced and also giving support to, we greatly acknowledge this. I would like to express our thanks, not only for supporting and initiating this program, but for personally attending the event. And that's why Her Excellency, the wife of the Vice President, is here representing the wife of the President. So thank you very much, ma'am, for giving support and guidance. Secondly, we'd like to thank the chairman of the Presidential Committee on Elimination of Drug Abuse, General Buba Maura. Obviously, with your exposition, the exposition you've given us today, given the children on the do's and don'ts of what does it take to become successful in future in terms of leadership. You've also recognized the fact that our children are the leaders of tomorrow. Yes, we've seen it even displayed in the last 1-2 hours that we've listened to various presentations. You've also, you made the point that the success, so it's being a good leader is to abstain from taking drugs. And I'm sure our children, and indeed everyone here, we've taken note of that. I would like to thank you, sir, for that exposition in terms of your lecture. Again, one important thing we need to indicate, right from the time Her Excellency walked into the conference room, she inspected the exhibition stand from outside with the team of an entourage. And I must say that Her Excellency was indeed very excited with all members of the team. In terms of the power of oratory of the children, the display of oratory, the way they presented the choice of their projects. I mean, the elements of the projects, what is it made of? And we're all excited. Again, we'd like to thank the management of the schools for this, because it shows that they have taken time to school their children. Not only that, the choice of the projects apparently falls in line with the trust of the current administration's current economic development agenda, which is the economic recovery and growth plan. And indeed, our next level agenda, which goes to say that even the children are thinking of what our leadership is thinking about, which is trying to create employment, trying to ensure that we use things we produce locally. So again, we'd like to thank you, the management of our schools. And above all, we've seen in the last couple of minutes the various presentations, renditions from our children upstate here. That shows that our children are the future leaders of tomorrow. I'm particularly happy and thankful to Master Ogene for reciting all those things he recited. And I'm sure other children will have emulated that and will take that back home. Finally, as we go back home, I want to pray that all the lessons we have learned here today, we go back home safely with those lessons. And we let it be part and parcel of us as children that wants to become successful leader. We took note of the speaker of the children parliamentary session that wants to become the next president, a president in the future. We've taken note of that, and we wish you success even as you go ahead. But before I drop this mic, Your Excellencies, I'd like to also thank the Secretary of the First Lady Organizing Committee of this event. I think she has done very well, Mrs. Miriam Rufai. She's done very well working closely with our team in putting this event together. And we believe that such events will be replicated, not only on June 12th, I think this was June 12th, but also even in our respective schools going forward. On this note, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. That was the voice of Babatunde Lawal, the Federal Republic of Nigeria represented, the wife of the president. I'm talking about no other person than Mrs. Dolapo Osinbajo. A round of applause for her, ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause. A round of applause. A round of applause. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You may please be seated. The representative of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Babatunde Lawal, the Permanent Secretary, Cabinet Office. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Women Affairs, Mrs. Ifoma Anabogo. Brigadier General Buba Marwa, retired, the Chairman, Presidential Advisory Committee on Elimination of Drug Abuse. Hajia Salamatu Bewa Eluma, the APC National Women Leader. Mr. Femi Oloruntoba, representative of the DG NDLEA. Mr. Lanre Ikpimesho, the former DG NDLEA. Mrs. Maria Rufai, the organizing secretary of the First Lady's activities for the June 12 Democracy Day commemoration. The teachers here present, the panelists and judges here present, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, and above all, the precious children. I bring you all greetings from Her Excellency, Dr. Mrs. Aisha Buhari. Kindly accept her apologies for her absence here today. I congratulate you for your great ideas. I'm so proud of the work and the ingenuity displayed at the exhibition. This event shows that there's room for you in Nigeria. There's room for you today. Make maximum use of this opportunity. Follow the path of innovation and hard work, and not the path of drug abuse or antisocial behavior. I'm very happy that you have had this opportunity. And today it shows to all that have been witnesses of this event that Nigerian children are intelligent, they're capable, they're hardworking, they're full of ideas, They're able to implement their ideas. They're confident, and above all, they are precious. I want to address the children directly. I don't know if you are aware how precious and special you are. I'm waiting for a response. Do you know how precious and special you are? Yes or no? Yes. I'm going to sing you a song, and then I'll teach a song to you that you will sing to yourselves to remind yourself how precious and special you are. So will you listen? Will you pardon my voice? And just know that this is straight from me to you. You are precious, you are special. Each day please promise to do your best. Your future's bright and God's grace will help you. You are a Nigerian princess. A Nigerian princess, arise. And I want you to learn the words and say after me, I am precious, I am special. Each day I promise to do my best. My future's bright, and God's grace will help me. Now only the girls, I'm a Nigerian princess. And only the boys, the Nigerian princes, arise. And I want to see your hands. The Nigerian princes, arise. Okay, stand up, let's do it one more time. And then we'll sing it. Can all the children in the hall stand? And I want to hear your voices nice and loud, because you are proclaiming, and this is what it is. 1, 2, go. I am precious. I am special. Each day I promise to do my best. My future's bright, and God's grace will help me. I am a Nigerian princess. The Nigerian princes arise. So we'll sing it one line after the other. I am precious. I am special. Each day I promise. To do my best. My future's bright and God's grace will help me. I am a Nigerian princess. The Nigerian princes arise. Can we do it all together before we sit? Will you remember? Okay, clear your throat and let's go. The 2019 Democracy Day. I wish to appreciate you all for honoring our invitation to attend this program. It is important to emphasize that the focus of the Democracy Day celebration today is you, and you are the children of Nigeria who represent the future of our great nation. You will help sustain our efforts to entrench a culture of democracy and good governance that will endure. It is therefore vital that we encourage you to harness your full potentials as the future leaders of our country, Nigeria. As you have already been informed, the theme for this year's celebration of Children's Day, which was celebrated on the 27th of May, was drug abuse among children, addressing the challenges. The choice of the theme is apt and timely, considering the current administration's commitment to address the drug problem in Nigeria, to ensure it does not affect the potential of our children. Also, the theme will go a long way to creating and increasing awareness on the ills associated with drug abuse. Boy or girl, rich or poor, urban or rural dwellers, we are all interested in the survival, protection, and development of all Nigerian children. At this juncture, I wish to appreciate the presentations by the children, the panel discussion, the exhibition, and the oratorical contest, where the children have shown commitment to peace and peaceful coexistence in our diversity. Government will continue to provide and improve on enabling environment for peaceful coexistence, particularly the inclusion of children and youths and other stakeholders such as the schools, the youth, the family, and the faith-based organizations in the peace-building process. I'm impressed by the quality of presentations, and I'm convinced that it has enhanced our knowledge of the outlined responsibilities for children, also for parents and the society at large. My sincere appreciation also goes to the planning committee for this event, for their efforts that led to the success of this event. On this note, I join the media and indeed all participants present here to carry the awareness message to the larger group. I also wish to use this platform to call on all stakeholders at all levels to network that we may reduce drug and substance abuse among children to the barest minimum. Finally, I wish to state that parents should take education of their children as priority, protect them from abuse and neglect, and send them to school, girls and boys. My dear children, I urge you to pay special attention to your education. Obey your parents, teachers, and those in authority over you. I pray you will all grow up to become responsible and productive adults in future. God bless you, children. Thank you for your attention. God bless Nigeria.
Those were the participants. Those were the participants on the panel discussions that we had earlier today, where the issues of drug abuse were treated. And many thanks to our father, retired but not tired, Brigadier General Buba Marwa, for setting the tone for the young ones to follow suit. The wife of pardon, Honorable Oriafo, Purity Favor. Honorable Linus Patrick. Honorable Walida Aisha Abba. Honorable Walida Aisha Abba. Where is she? By who? Representative of Honorable Aisha Walida, can you collect the gifts for her? Amazing. We also have Honorable Theresa Ojeka. Honorable Theresa Ojeka. We have Honorable Koboye Bolade. Honorable Koboye Bolade. Hajia Maria Rufai will continue for her. Also, I would like to crave the indulgence of my father, retired Brigadier General Buba Marwa, to join this picture. And also, I'd like to call my big uncle, Babatunde Lawal, from the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Babatunde Lawal, to join them. I had the ladies to come first. And then last but not the least, let me call my mother, the APC National Woman Leader, Haja Salamatu. Mama, join them up stage right now. Thank you very much. That is my mother in her finesse. You can see her amazing dress. Oh yes, take your time, mama. Take your time. Take your time. Oh yes. Amazing. 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 Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please, Your Excellency, the wife of the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, no be my own go loss. Permit me to take a picture with you when you finish this one. Maka, use and take home marry.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much to my fathers and my uncle, retired General Buba Marwa. Thank you very much, sir. They will live to remember this day. Thank you very much, sir. Next on the list, Great Heights Academy, Kado, Abuja. The amazing ladies who are as articulate as any African woman in the world. I look forward to seeing you girls on the world map after today. Great Heights. Great Heights representatives, your presentation was very, very articulate. And I say thank you, thank you, thank you. Keep up the good work. Keep up the good work. Up next, Jessica Kids Academy. Jessica Kids Academy.
Brilliant.
Okay, the International Community School, Abuja. Can we have you? International Community School, Abuja. Also, all the students that participated at the exhibition, please make your way forward. There were a lot of articulating students there, with lots and loads of innovation, which I believe the federal government will do something about them. While we are waiting for the students who participated in the exhibition, okay, let this batch take a picture with the general before they step down. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. This award will be going to Mr. Femi Michael Olorontoba for the PMBP's Oratorical Contest Award of Excellence. Mr. Femi Michael Olorontoba, where is he? Okay, Mr. Femi Michael, please, let's do this. Also, an award of excellence, the PMBP's Oratorical Contest, to Mr. Johnson Anyekeme. Mr. Johnson Anyekeme is a life coach, a dance instructor, and above all, he's a Nigerian. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to welcome Junior Secondary School Area 11, Junior Secondary School Area 11, Junior Secondary School Area 11 for exhibition, Arts and Science Exhibition, Junior Secondary School, Area 11. We also have Government Science and Technology College, Area 3. Government Science and Technology, Area 3. A representative of the school, please hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Be smart. Government Secondary School, Kubwa. Government Science and Technology Area 3. Thank you very much. Government Secondary School, Kuba. Please hold on. Government Girls Secondary School, Dutse. Please hurry up to the stage. Government Girls Secondary School, Dutse. Government Girls Secondary School, Dutse. Government Girls Secondary School, Dutse. Award of Excellence for Arts and Science Exhibition. Do not give up on your dream. We have a president who believes in our children. Junior Secondary School, Area 11. If you're in the house, hurry up. In the meantime, Ogu Solomon. Okay. Yes, Ogu Solomon Abuchi. Ogu Solomon Abuchi. Award of Excellence for Arts and Science Exhibition. Ogu Solomon Abuchi. Okay. Junior Secondary School, Tukwechi. Junior Secondary School, Tukwechi. Are you in the building? Okay. Government Secondary School, Kuje. Government Secondary School, Kuje. Hurry up exactly. Yes, run, double up. Kuje. Junior Secondary School, Area 11. Junior Secondary School, Tukwechi. Junior Secondary School.
Take your gift. No, wait, let me present it now.
Brick Hall School, Games Village. 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 Can you double up, please? You cannot keep a general waiting. Otherwise, you do press up now for your body. Area 11. Junior Secondary School, Area 11. Games Village, guys, please hold on. Hold on, just hold on. Brick Hall, Games Village. Amazing. Congratulations. Congratulations. Regina Patches, Gerki. Regina Patches, Gerki. Hold on, just hold on. Regina, hold on. After this, people will do. Thank you very much. Regina Patches. Regina Patches. Yeah, the ones. Put them here. Government Day Secondary School, Caro. Get ready. Government Day Secondary School, Caro. Government Day Secondary School, Caro. Government Secondary School, Babalada. Okay, we have Government Day Secondary School, Caro, right? Government Day Secondary School, Caro. Government Secondary School, Gwagwalada. Please, you're up next. Government Secondary School, Gwagwalada. Okay. Also, Nnebe, Chinomso, Joshua, Nze. An award of excellence for the PMB Peace Oratorical Contest. Nnebe, Chinomso, Joshua Nze. Those ones are not. Please remember to go and take the pack of your awards so that you preserve it. Just go to the table there and get a pack for your award. Government Secondary School, Gwagwalada. Okay, go the other way and pick your award. And last but not the least, Karen Hapuch. Ordinenu. Karen Hapuch. Ordinenu. An award of excellence for the PMBP's oratorical contest. And then last but not the least, with the permission of Haja Maria, I would like to award myself and receive a handshake from the General himself. Okay, Daddy, your son. This is the boy that blew everybody away, the orator himself, Oganetega Peter Torire. Make sure you frame this picture, tell your daddy to frame this picture and hang it on the wall. Need to remember this day. You're standing with a legend, and of course, oh, his father is here. Oh, okay. And after that, the judges of the PMB oratorical contest will take a picture with the general. Okay, thank you very much. Members of the committee, let the judges take a picture. Let the judges flank around Brigadier General Ubamara. Please. Ms. Chisholm, can you come forward with your co-anchor? Ms. Chisholm and your co-anchor for the presidential, or rather, the panel discussion sessions. Can you come forward, Ms. Chisholm and your co-anchor, very quickly to receive the general's handshake? Please, while the judges exit the stage, let the committee members, only the committee members, flank around the general, please. Only the committee members. Chisholm, where is your co-anchor? All right. Please. Yeah. Please, judges, can you please excuse us, please? My father will attend to you soon, please. Thank you very much. That's enough. Let the committee only, please. The committee members only. Chisholm, please. Stand by the side to receive your handshake from the general. An amazing hard-working committee putting this together. All right, Chisholm, the anchor of the panel discussions, as she comes forward to receive the general's handshake. A round of applause for the